Hello?
Evelyn. You ready to go to the turn up function?
What is a turn up function?
Like, turn up function is like the function you go to get turned up before you go to the real function that you were originally trying to go to. So it's like pre-gaming. No, yeah, it's definitely like pre-gaming.
Girl, I already got my satin bonnet on. I don't have a bra on. I'm in the bed already, so you can pretty much count me out.
Trifling.
Hello, 4C Hair Chick YouTube family. It is us,
Hallease here.
and I'm Evelyn from the internets. For the month of February, we're here answering your natural hair questions on the 4C Hair Chick YouTube channel.
Love month. So the main issue that we've noticed a lot of naturals have is, which do I wrap my hair with? Silk or satin? Neither of us are textile experts, but with the beauty of the internet and Google, we educated ourselves on this topic just a little bit. Because here's the thing, silk is, as we know, or maybe don't know, from the silkworm, right? It's the material that comes out their butt.
So if you vegan, silk is technically an animal byproduct.
You can't be using it.
Can't use silk.
Silk is a byproduct of the silkworm.
It is a fiber.
Satin is actually a form of threading together. It's a style of threading cotton fibers, whatever type of fibers you're using, together. So you can have a satin scarf that has silk in it.
Silk and satin aren't comparable because silk is a fiber and satin is just the way fibers can be woven together.
Silk, though, in general, is stronger. It doesn't give much stretch, though, so if you end up stretching, if you have a 100% silk scarf and you end up really stretching it, which is pretty hard to do, it won't go back. Satin usually has a shinier coat on one side and then a dull coat on the other, and that is because of the way it is woven together. What makes satin and silk scarves so great for natural hair is that they protect it while you are sleeping. So if you are not sleeping on something that is satiny or silky, your naps are probably dry.
Parched.
Every time you wake up.
Dehydrated. All these record labels boring. All these boring.
That 9 to 5 to stay alive. 9 to 5 to stay.
As you can see, we have our silk scarves here. And I got mine from a thrift store for like $3. The label says 100% silk. It feels really smooth, but there isn't a shinier side. They're both the same shine levels. Unlike satin, which will have a shiny side and a dull side because of the way it's woven. Where did you get your silk scarf?
Actually, it's a silk scarf, but not 100% silk.
Ooh.
This scarf is about 30% silk, I want to say. And I got this scarf from J. Crew. They were having an awesome possum sale one day when I strolled in there, and I got this for like 15 bucks. And this is actually woven in satin. So it's kind of hard to tell on camera, but this side is kind of dull, and when I flip it over, this side is noticeably more shiny.
Yes. Next up is what you would buy at the beauty supply store.
Sally's,
what? Sally's, your local Korean establishment. And this is satin. I don't know what it is made out of because, again, satin is not a fiber. It is the way fiber is woven. So this has a shiny side, the side that slips on your pillow, you know. There's a dull side, but it's still very smooth to the touch and your hair won't get caught in it. And it doesn't really absorb water, which is what we want. We don't want the things we put on our naps to soak up the water on our naps and make them dehydrated. And the same goes for bonnets. That's just a different way of wearing satin. It's the same thing, shiny on the outside, kind of dull on the inside, and it doesn't snag on your hair. It has a nice elastic. Some people don't like using this. They like using the scarves more because this part rubs on your edges. Watch our video on edges, by the way.
Finally, we've got the good old do-rag material. It's kind of like a sheen.
Mm-hmm.
You can see me right now.
Yeah.
Through it.
It's like nylon. That's like basketball shorts material.
It was like nylon and polyester probably.
Yeah.
So I would recommend upping your game just a little bit and going with that satin scarf.
But you can also use a satin pillowcase.
Hey.
If you're like me and you just fall asleep, you don't go to bed. There's no routine, like I just brush my teeth and then die. If you're like that, you probably don't have the time to like find a scarf, wrap your head, you know what I'm saying? I just want to like let it fall where it may, and hopefully that's good enough. So Lazy Natural, a silk/satin pillowcase is perfect. You can find them sometimes at beauty supply stores. I got mine at curlmart.com. It is made out of polyester, which is a man-made fiber, but it is woven to be satin. What you don't want to use,
right?
But a cotton, just
ragged.
This will
mess you.
This will mess you up. Your hair can get caught in this, you know? Basically, all in all, the goal is to not use cotton. You need to use something that is slippery, you know, smooth to the touch, that your hair can kind of slide around on and it won't get snatched up in the loops of how it was woven together. Satin is great for that. Silk is a little more expensive.
Silk is a lot more expensive.
Actually a lot more expensive, unless you thrift. I found mine. I found mine.
Did you?
I did.
How much did you pay for yours?
About $3. But the way in which you use it, whether a scarf, a bonnet, or a pillowcase, is really up to your preference and how you go to bed. So, in conclusion, we want to hear from you. What do you prefer to use to wrap your hair at night when you go to bed? Do you use a scarf, bonnet, or pillowcase? And is it satin or is it just 100% silk?
We'll see you next week? Or is this the last video? We don't know.
We'll see you next week.